welcome. Gina's excited. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. So first, let me just clue you in on how this came about. And I think it's going to be a weird night, just to let you know. It's going to be kind of weird. So the person who thought that I should talk to Ivana was Cassie. And so I couldn't figure out who to talk to. So I just happened to say to Cassie, if you think of anybody, let me know. Or if you feel like anybody wants to talk, let me know. Because I don't feel like I'm getting anything. I didn't think I was getting anything, but let me just explain for just a second. So she said, I've been thinking of Ivana Trump. And I was like, oh, that would be really interesting and kind of scary and kind of like, okay, what would she say? But I was like, that's a great one, Cassie. And she's like, well, think about it and see if you can connect with her. And if you feel good about it, let me know. So I said, okay. And so I tried to connect with her and I thought, I'm going to ask her what happened, like around her passing. And I felt like if that comes in, that will tell me that she wants to chat. So as soon as I asked that question, I started to get like heat and like an ache on the back of my head. So I felt like entertainment purposes only, you know, and I know that she's going to be careful about what she says because she doesn't want me to be, you know, us to be in danger. I'll say us, me. But I felt like, so either she was hit or pushed, you know, from the back of the head. I also felt like it was very dark. I feel like it may have even been like the middle of the night, but I almost felt like someone was calling her at the bottom of the stairs. I felt like there was a person at the top of the stairs, male, two males, a male at the top of the stairs and a male at the bottom of the stairs. And I almost, I felt like she was either called or for some reason came over to see the person at the bottom of the stairs. And that's when it happened. So that's what I got. And I also kind of felt like she was not impaired, but I mean, maybe like had drinks or had a sleeping pill or something. Cause I feel like she was a little out of it. It could just be, it was like the middle of the night. And so that's why she was kind of like a little bit like startled or whatever. So that's what I got. So that's what she came in. So I'm like, okay, she wants to talk. So the other weird thing was, you know, as you know, they always come in, they kind of show themselves to me. And I was seeing this young girl with dark hair. And I'm like, so I went and looked at her pictures. So I could not find anything. I'm like, I think she was a natural blonde. Why would she come in with dark hair? So after some digging, so this is about the age, and this is what her hair looks like too. That's another thing is I've never seen her without her like, let me push this. How do I put this back? Here we go. She almost looks exactly like that, but she has dark hair. It's not blonde. And I've also already, because I remember them in the 80s, I always think of her with her like her big 80s hair. And that's how I remember her. So I didn't even know she had like straight hair at any point, but that's what she looks. She had straight brown hair about that length. And she's like this age. And then I came across this when she was 12 years old. She had, can you see that? She had dark hair. So that was another kind of just like, and these things are just, they're validations for me, right? To know that I'm actually connecting with them. And so they'll give things like this as like, you know, little things that maybe aren't readily out there so that I can be sure that I'm connecting with them. So the other, okay, so the last thing I want to tell you is that I've been getting the song Rich Girl. You're a rich girl and you're going to, and I could not get it out of my head. And I thought it's so weird because I haven't heard that song in a long time. It's a song we used to do in a band I was in ages ago. I'm like, that is so weird that I keep getting that song. And then I put on our Alexa and the song came on. So I'm like, what is this?
I can't tell what it's saying.
I didn't say it quite enough. So I I was just like, what is going on? And then when I talked to Cassie, and then right before I came on, after I had done like I usually do my dowsing rods, where are they standing, who's with them, that kind of thing. And I got the song Rich Girl. I'm like, it's her. That's who's been trying to get in touch with me for over a week. So anyway, so I just made the connection. So she's probably like, oh my God, this one. She's not going to know what's going on. So anyway, so that's the behind the scenes stuff that's going on. So it's all been very strange, very odd, and clearly she wants to talk. So we are going to talk to her. All right. Okay, so I was telling, I went to see my hairdresser today, and so she had a question. She's a friend. She had a question. I was calling my hairdresser, but that's why I went to see her. But she wanted to know what Ivana was going to testify about or talk about, because there's this, I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's for sure that she was going to testify or something, some kind of testimony was coming up. So I'm going to ask that question first, and then I'm going to go to Gina, and Gina's going to put up the questions from the chat tonight. So, but just so I don't forget, I'm going to do that one first. And so what were you going, and by the way, she's here with her dad. So she's here with her dad. By the way, what were you going to testify about? What was banks, taxes, funds, accounts, business practices, she said shadow figures. Shadow figures. Is that a, does she mean, if anybody knows, if you know anything about like accounting, is that like an accounting term, shadow figures? Or is it, she's saying shadow like people behind the scenes, like people behind the scenes? I'm not sure. Shadow figures. It's not like a spiritual thing. It feels like business. So partners. Yeah. Okay. So that's what she was going to talk about. Okay, so that's what I got. Okay. All right, so go ahead, Gina. What's the first question you have? I just heard her say, okay. Ivana, is the Donald Trump that we see today the same Donald that you married? Not even close. So he was always he's always kind of a scammer, kind of a scam artist, but and always very cheap, very selfish, but not anywhere near the person we see today. He still had some traits that were positive, and we had a good like working partnership, and he would listen to me. He doesn't listen to anybody anymore. Even if it was not so good, like he'd listen to me. And he tried to do what he thought he should do, but he doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't even try. Like it feels like he doesn't even try to be a good person. He's like he used to at least kind of try. He doesn't even pretend to try anymore. It's been a steady decline. There's just a steady, and to me it feels like in like morals, in his brain, like his cognitive stuff, like everything's just on a steady decline, and it has been for years. She's even saying since like the I want to say like the late 80s or something around there. Like it's just been like this steady decline in every way. I feel like there are areas like I didn't help. Like they were both pretty materialistic and pretty kind of, I was going to soften it, but she's saying ruthless, kind of ruthless business people. And she's saying not to it for her, not to intentionally hurt people, but it was kind of get out of my way, that kind of thing. She's being very honest. And anything else? Oh gosh, we're going to start this again. Okay. Hopefully I'm not stuck. Dear Ivana, what was the most important thing you learned in your lifetime? Okay, so she's splitting this up. She's saying, I thought, like when I was here, I thought my lesson was be independent, have your own money, have your own stuff, and kind of stand on your own 2 feet. But she's saying from there, from the other side, she's saying a lot of her lessons were around the unimportance of physical things and the importance of personal relationships. But she's like, I didn't get that. Like, it's like, I get this now. I get it now. I can see it very clearly. But when I was in it, I really was consumed with money and things and stuff and homes and security. She's like, I wanted to be secure. I wanted to feel secure. It was a constant fear that would I be poor? Could I be, thrown away? Could I be out on the street? It was a deep fear to be without money. And she's saying it was ingrained in me from her parents, and so it was, and I don't know why it was so deeply within her, but she's saying it like went back to her childhood, went back, and so it was a deep, deep fear of being without money. Okay. Ivana, are you buried at Donald's golf course? Yeah, I mean, when I was talking to my hairdresser, she was saying she was her ashes. Yeah. So she's there. She's making me feel like there's a whole thing around that. That's really upsetting to her daughter, especially that she's there. So that's why she doesn't like it. But she's showing them moving her. So there may be maybe after Trump's gone and stuff that her daughter may move her. So she's like, she doesn't care. She's like, I don't care. It's like, it has nothing to do with me, basically, but it bothers her that it bothers her daughter. So she's showing them moving her. Yeah, I'm getting chills with that. They're going to move her at some point, or move the casket at some point. Excavate. Yeah, she's saying they're going to move, pull it up out of the ground and move her. Yeah. But yeah, she was saying she was cremated, and I didn't know that, but yeah, I mean, her ashes are there. Yeah. Did Trump bury you with secret items? What are they? So she's showing like almost like so she showed me the first thing that I saw a long time ago, which was gold bars. So I don't know if there's gold, like things of value, that kind of thing. But she showed me the same image that I saw. It's like the gold bars are like lining the inside of the casket. But like I said, I don't know if that's literal, like literal. I guess it could be literal. If I keep saying it, I guess it could be literal, or just like things of value are in there. But she's also showing me like, I want to say like deeds or something, that there might be, I would just say like official documents of some kind. So yeah. Ivana, are you worried about any of your children? All of them. She worries about all of them. She's trying to connect with them, but they're so entrenched, like in the 3D, entrenched. I mean, I would say the 3D, but she's kind of like entrenched into their personal dramas, and it's very, very hard to reach them. So they're kind of like, she was kind of like involved in money and business, and this project and that project, very really kept busy by the trappings of the 3D world. So they're very immersed in that. And she's saying it's very hard to connect and to give guidance and that kind of thing when they're so entrenched. And she's kind of like, it's not like she's given up, but she's kind of like, I know that it has to be like they have to reach a turning point, or they have to make the decision to kind of to do things differently, or to see things and like get out of some of the things they're involved in and that kind of thing. It's but she is concerned about all of them. Yeah. Ivana, we know Donald's deal. Do you feel any love him? She's like, yes, he's just a man. Yes, of course he can. And she's saying it has to be a concentrated effort. There needs to be a concentrated effort. So this coming together, all the government, everybody deciding, but she's like, he's just a man. He's a bully. He's an intimidator, but he's just a man. The will has to be there, and then there has to be a willingness to do it. She's saying it's harder with the presidency. We put so much like emphasis on the president, but she's saying he's just a man. So absolutely, they just have to have the will and the and just do it. Just do it. Yeah. Did you know what Epstein, Ghislaine, and Trump were really to with them and young girls? I had my suspicions, but I turned a blind eye. So yeah. Especially with the pageants. She said that she found it distasteful and kind of creepy, but and she's like almost like it would be obvious like to anyone else to like look into it. What's going on here? This is weird, but they never did. And she's kind of like, it's almost like I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But it's also like eye roll. Like that's like, some creepy thing Donald's doing. Yuck, I don't want to know about it. That kind of thing. And she's saying, of course, I didn't know how deep it went, the depth of everything, how dark it was until she was on this side. But she said, I did turn a blind eye and just thought, ugh, gross, that kind of thing. Was Ivana a spy for Czechoslovakian government? No, she's saying I almost feel like it's like she gave information that really was not anything important, but I feel like it's like through my father or through my father. But she's kind of like, I didn't know anything. I didn't really have anything to say. And she's right. She's also saying that she really felt like her home was in the West. She didn't feel like she fit in very well in that part of the world. She always felt like she was more at home and felt like she was had more allegiance to the West. She's still like, it's like I acknowledged it as a home. Like it was my like origin, it's like I came from there, so I had a affection for it that way, but I didn't really feel like I fit there. So my allegiance was actually more towards the West. And she's saying like I would share things like with my father, and I felt like I had a feeling that he might share it with somebody or something like that. I'm not sure what this is, but I didn't really know anything. I didn't know anything I wasn't high in the government, or I didn't really have anything that would have been useful. But, and maybe it's more like she's saying like I would say things to my dad and then wonder, is he going to tell somebody that, or is it, that kind of thing. But to me, it has to do with like money and how money works and the way money moves and that kind of thing. Yeah, but she's saying like a registered spy or something. She's like, no. Deposition the next day, supposedly. Oh, really? Okay. Interesting. All right. Was she going to talk about Epstein? Was she going to talk about Epstein? So she's saying, I did wonder if it might come up, but it wasn't something that was like on the agenda or that she knew of, but she did wonder if it might come up. Right. she's like, I knew it was something people were concerned about, so I thought it might come up. But again, she's like, I didn't know much. I knew. She's like, ask Melania. Ask Melania. Don't ask this wife. Ask Melania. That's the wife you want to talk to, not me. So, but she's like, I didn't know. I really didn't know much about, but that she did wonder if it might come up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It always feels good to get a haircut. I needed one so desperately. Ivana, are your children aware of the circumstances behind your death? There is like suspicion. I've been telling them. So that's one of the things she's trying to tell them. So she's saying it's almost like I've planted suspicion in them. So like she's been telling them, and so they've become kind of like, I wonder. Dreams. She's coming to them in dreams. She's showing them dreams. So yeah, so they've become suspicious, but they've not like moved on anything. And I think she knows that they know there's not really anything they can really do until Donald is gone. Either he's in jail or he's, fled or something. Yeah. Did you ever have any concerns about Donald's relationship with Ivanka? Okay. So she's kind of backing away, like, I don't want to say too much about this. So she's going to speak about when she was here. And she's saying that sometimes some things were odd, things he would say, the way they would like be with each other. But it was kind of like, I wouldn't even allow myself to go there. I wouldn't even allow myself to think about that. It was just like turning away. And she was never told about anything. So, but she's saying if had I been told, I would have acted. I was not I wouldn't have shied away from something like that if I knew for sure, but I wouldn't even let myself go there. So I would just kind of turn a blind eye. But she's saying nothing was overt. Nothing was over the top. Everything was very subtle. And so it was easy to just kind of turn a blind eye. And as long as no one said anything, everything must be okay. That kind of feeling. Yeah. Do you respect Melania? So she said, of course, from where I stand now, I can see a much more nuanced picture. Like I can see more. I understand more. When she was here, she couldn't stand her. I didn't like her. I thought she was kind of trashy, quite trashy. And she's almost like, it was embarrassing that he married me, and then he married that. It's kind of like that. But she's saying from here, from where she stands here, she can see a lot more, and she understands a lot more, and understands kind of like her motivations and her past and her stuff. So she's not as clearly, like, not as judgmental as she was here. But here she's saying, oh, I just thought, oh, how dare why is he with that person after being with me? How do you imagine? So she really, yeah, did not like her at all. Not at all. How does Donald's effect on the country look from your vantage point? So she's saying horrific, horrendous, but it's serving a purpose. It's like, even in spite of what he thinks he's doing, it's still serving a purpose for the greater good. So she's sort of like stay tuned, stay tuned. But yeah, so that's what she's saying. Yeah, for entertainment purposes. Thank you, Gina. Question: what can we do to speed his end? Or is that not spiritual? Can I say, okay, so I'm asking, can I say that? Because she's saying they're making preparations for his passing, like coming over there, they're making preparations. So, and I don't know if that means months, a year. She's not saying like a time, but she's saying they're preparing right now for his passing or making preparations. Interesting. So she just said he won't be here a moment longer than he has to be, not a moment. So as soon as he has kind of fulfilled his purpose or he has fulfilled what needs to be fulfilled, he'll be gone. That'll be it. Interesting, right? So yeah. What would you say DJT's greatest is his greatest weakness? What would you say is his greatest weakness? Attention and flattery. It's a blind spot, and she's saying he's so devoid and like devoid of love that is sort of what replaces that for him. It's what he interprets as affection, love. So any kind of flattery, any kind of, you're doing great, or, here's this trophy or whatever, that would be the equivalent of someone else getting like, I love you. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know it. He doesn't have it. And then attention, it's the same thing. She's saying it, but those it's gotten so much worse, and he's gotten so much hungrier for this because he has been devoid of love for so long that it's almost like what is a good analogy for this? Yeah, she's like somebody thirsty in the desert, taking anything that even looks like, it seems like water. It's like, I'll try it. So it's really sad when you think of it that way, but that's what she's saying. So those things he's very susceptible to because that's his version of love. And he's starving for it. He's starving for love because he doesn't have it and he's never had it. So. What do you think about in his criminal activities? So she's kind of making me feel like they were involved before they could know they were involved. So it's almost like putting their names on stuff and putting that, and so it's kind of like you better just play ball or you're going to go down with me, or it's kind of like almost like threatening. But it's kind of like they were involved before they knew they were involved. And so then it was like, well, I guess we're involved, so we better just do our best to whatever, keep everything going and not get caught, and not, so it's almost like they were, yeah, in before they knew they were in. And she's saying like they have the same, like fear of being poor and an addiction to riches. They have that same kind of gene. And so it sort of plays into that as well. Yeah. Will she be there to meet him? Will be there to meet him. No, his father will. His father will be there. All right. His father will be there. How well did you know Putin? Does DT do what he says because Putin has something on him, or does he just owe him money? Well, how well? So let's start with how well did you know Putin? So she's saying somewhat. So maybe had met him or knew of him and that kind of thing. Not very, very well. But I knew, she's saying dastardly deeds. So she knew of his dastardly deeds. She knew, and she was a little bit like don't get in his crosshairs. Don't get too close. Don't know too much. Don't or not get too involved or whatever. Because I feel like people around her may have known him, and probably, Donald clearly, but maybe like other family members or something. But she was kind of had always kept her distance. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she's saying I'm not going to say too much, but everything's going to come out. The relationship between them and what went on and what they have between what has kind of why they have the relationship they have it's all going to come out. So she's going to not, and I think this is for me, she's kind of like, I'm not going to say, too much, but it's all going to come out. And there's definitely a complicated relationship. And it a lot of it does have to do with like blackmail and that kind of thing. So money, blackmail. Yeah. Allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, of course. It's just the voices in my head. What would you like your kids to know about their father and you? That their father doesn't know how to love anybody. And that nothing is done out of love for them. It's always about him. Anything he does, it's always for himself. He might turn it around or he might make you think, but it's like it's always about him. And that he doesn't know. It's not that he doesn't, like he loved you, he doesn't love you, he doesn't know how to love. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know how. about, okay, so about her, she's saying that that she really loved her children, and that she, but she wasn't, but her priorities were not great, but she did love her children. And she's saying, I would have sacrificed for them. And I think I did. I think I did sacrifice for them. But if there was a way for them to sort of have different priorities than the ones she had, it would be best. And it would be, she's hoping one day that will be the case. And she's talking about money and stuff and being in high society and all the, all those things. She's like, this just doesn't, it's stupid. It's stupid. But it's so important in their life. They just, it's ingrained. So she's hoping, but yeah. Does she know who was at the top and bottom of her staircase? So I feel like she's kind of like, I don't want to say, but she's making me feel like I thought I heard Donald's voice. So he could have been at the bottom of the staircase, or someone who sounded like him, who she thought was him. She's making me feel like that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything. And I do feel like this stuff will come out. Yeah. So how does she believe the world history should remember him? So she's kind of like the president with no good intention, no good intentions, ill-intended. Yeah. So yeah, because everything was very selfishly motivated. So the president with no good intentions. That's what she's hoping. Everything was for negative or for himself or for ill-gotten gains or whatever. Everything was for something else. What do you think about Jared Kushner? Okay, so she's saying that he always has his hands in a lot of pies. Like he's always got like his tentacles out, like in different things. So he's very, and she's saying he's quite secretive, sneaky, almost. That's kind of the feeling I get, and that he's got his like tentacles out into everything. So it's like something weird or awry goes on over here, he's probably involved. Some weird business thing over here, he's probably involved. It's like he's got it's like insidious almost. So she sees him as kind of a sinister character, but like in the shadows, in the background, but kind of has his tentacles everywhere, his hand in every pie, that kind of thing. So that's the way she's showing him, almost like a spider is kind of the way she's showing, a scurvy spider with his like things in like every little, every thing going on that has to do with money and power, Is the final release an investigation of the files what ends his presidency? Is it the 1,000 survivors? So she's saying that, and it kind of is like it's you guys decide, like you can, you know, this can be done tomorrow, you guys need to decide. But it's also like it's going to be the mounting pressure and the mounting investigations and the mounting just questions and questions and questions, almost like he's being hounded and hounded and hounded. To me, this feels like it goes into like the midterms and that kind of thing. If he's even here that long, I don't know if he'll be here that long, but to me, it's kind of like when she says that, like the mounting questions, the mounting investigations, the pressure that either that, like, you know, that like his heart can't take it or whatever his, you know, he can't take it, or he'll be gone, like, and then all of that stuff kind of kicks up. But that he's just bringing up that. I'm not sure what the time frame is or like what, but she also makes me feel like you guys could, you know, meaning the United States could end it tomorrow. But these are the scenarios that lay in front of us are sort of mounting pressure, mounting investigations, mounting questions, that kind of thing. And so it may just be too much for his health and that kind of thing. Or it may run him out of, you know, office, that kind of thing, or he leaves. Yeah. Does he sleep at night? His posts are happening at odd hours. Is he scared of sleeping because the spirit realm can reach out to him in dreams? I got a thing about that a long time ago. That was about just during his first term. And there was some fear about sleeping that he had, that he would have nightmares. So sleep, what is his sleep like? Yeah, she's saying he doesn't sleep well, but he's never really slept well. But more recently, it has to do with age, like health, like stress and like medications and stuff like that. But she's also like, you know, that when he goes to sleep or tries to sleep, that his mind is filled with like anger about everybody and kind of like plotting and planning and grudges and this person, I hate Obama, you know, it's kind of like it's like that's when like his like anger and stuff about things gets like stirred up. She's also saying he does not like to be alone. He never likes to be alone with his own thoughts. That's part of it. It's almost like, because I feel like assistants are going in and out all night long. Bring this person. It's like, so there's a fear of being alone too, of being alone with his own thoughts. Yeah. Will it be revealed that his election was stolen? Okay. Yes, it will. She's showing like Elon. Yeah, it will. For entertainment purposes only. That's all I know. I wonder what Ivana sees for him on the other side. Sees for him on the other side. So as far as like watching him like from there, it's she's saying it is like oh God, what is he doing now? Oh God, what's happening? So it's almost like she kind of checks in and like sees what's happening. But it's not something that she's glued to. She just, every so often, she'll see what's going on and what's happening. And if you're talking about what she sees like coming for him, and she's saying she can see the probabilities and none of them are good. They're all not good. And she's saying too, he's an old man. So, he's getting closer to the end and he's just, everything's declining and going downhill. So whether it's his cognitive skills, his health, his ability to, navigate the political landscape, like everything's like diminishing. And so she can see the probabilities where this may go, what may happen, and none of them are good for him. None of them are good. What does Ivana want us to know that we're not asking? Good question. Do you want us to know? Asking. So something she's bringing up is okay, I think I understand what she's saying. So it's almost like there's a beauty to the way things work out, because basically Trump could have had a completely different kind of life. She's showing had his parents like gotten him help when he was younger and been more caring and been more loving. Like it could have been a completely different life, but it didn't go that way and they weren't that way. And it was kind of like things were starting to just get out of control and move out of control. And so as that happened, it's sort of like he moved into, or like slid into, a different kind of purpose that would be beneficial to the greater good. So she's saying that even in this really like a terrible person, a terrible life, that it can still be somehow used for a bigger purpose and a good purpose. So she's just saying that this, although we see it as like, oh, the darkness and oh, this, and she's like, it's beautifully orchestrated, how everything sort of intertwines and always is working for the greater good. So I feel like she's kind of like, even in all his awfulness, all the terribleness, he is still, unbeknownst to him, and not because he wants to, he's still working for the greater good of all, and for our, like, everyone's growth, everyone's evolution, and moving us forward. So that's almost like it's a look at like a bigger picture thing that she's like wanting us to kind of just acknowledge the beauty of it. Yeah. Would you ever reincarnate with him again? Reincarnate with him. She's saying it would depend, but probably not, because he'll probably be either not come back at all, or it would be a very, very, very long time. She's saying that people that have lives that affect so many other people in such a negative way, personal people being, affected negatively, that it takes a very, very long time to recover and to have to, okay. And she's even showing like he's going to have to like connect with all these souls and like face people and talk to people. And so like he's going to be like doing this for a really, really long time and kind of going through like, how did I affect your life? You know, and it's very personal. It's soul to soul. So she's like, it just takes, when you have these kind of lifetimes and they affect so many people, it takes a long time to get the, she's saying like the thumbs up or the go ahead to go back. It will be a long, long, long time. Yeah, she's even saying like hundreds of years. It could be like Earth time, hundreds of years. It could be a really, really long time. So that she may decide to come back. So and then he would still be kind of doing his thing. So she's just saying she could, but it would be a really long time. Okay, what we do? We'll do this one and one more, and then we'll call it a night. Quintuple, did you share previous lives with DGT? If so, what were they like? Bolsheviks? Is that right? Bolsheviks. Sounds, what is that? Is that a name? That's a name, right? So that's the lifetime she's bringing up, something Bolsheviks. Russians. Okay, so yeah, so it must have been in that. But I feel like it was like a long time ago, and I feel like it was under like a rule, like under like a very a lot of upheaval and a lot of like, it almost feels like I was like, we were like had money and then we were starving. It feels very like and then so very tumultuous life that felt, and I feel like it's in some of this life and like having, I don't know how it connects together, but to me it's like I'm trying to, yeah, somehow this life was to balance that one out. I don't know if it did, but it, yeah, something like that. But it feels like really like riches to rags. It feels like something high and then boom, down at the bottom. So that's what it feels like. If you guys can figure out, if you know anything about that history or that time, if you can figure out how it connects to now, that would be great. I'd love to hear it. If he comes to me to apologize, I'm not at home. Was Mar-a-Lago a cover for anything? Was it a cover for anything? So she's calling it like a party palace. That's kind of like, it was like that there were a lot of like yucky things that took like she's showing like drugs and just kind of a lot of different stuff, you know. But it was sort of to be like a like a party palace, like, so a lot of partying, a lot of like gross stuff, and I mean we know like a lot of the yucky stuff, but I feel like it's not so much like it's a cover for something, but like lots of like yucky deals, like yucky, you know, like you know, secrets and lots. It's like it's almost like a dungeon or something. It has a really, really dark feel and dark energy about it. So it's like a lot of misdeeds and things like that, have like illegal things and stuff like that have taken place there. But as far as like it being like a money laundering scheme, it's like, no, but it's all inside of it. It's like it's all taken place there at one time or another. So that's what she's saying. Okay, everybody. So this was it was fascinating for me. I hope it was for you guys too. Thank you so much for okay, let me just read this real quick. If she lost, what did she say? Because I would love to hear if there's like a here. If she lost great wealth in a previous life, it probably influenced her fear of not having money and being disposed of. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a great thought. So yeah, very interesting. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will see the club tomorrow night for our movie night. And thank you, Gina. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you Sunday, and then I'll see you next week again. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.